What up, homies? Welcome back, Conspiracy University. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go over this Operation Lockstep here, right? It was originally called Operation Lockstep. I'm not sure why they added this part right here, the COVID plan / Rockerfeller Lockstep 2010. But nonetheless, still the same thing, right? Same information. And they actually kind of predicted this little I guess you could say a pandemic, right? So I'm gonna read some of it, y'all. It's a long read, so I really don't want to read all of it, but I'll read a little bit over here, and would also recommend that y'all go and look into this, and y'all can get some insight on this for yourselves. So it has here Rockefeller Lockstep 2010. They hypothesize a simulated global outbreak, required steps, various phases, overall timelines, and expected outcomes. This was posited in the Rockefeller Lockstep 2010. Create a very contagious but super low mortality rate virus to fit the needed plan. Using SARS HIV hybrid research strain created at Fort Detrick Class 4 lab from 2008 to 2013 as part of a research project to find out why coronaviruses spread like wildfire in bats but have an extremely hard time infecting humans. To counteract that, they added 4 HIV inserts into the virus. The missing key to infecting human is the ACE2 receptor. Create a weaponized version of the virus with a much higher mortality rate as a backup plan. Ready to be released in phase 3, but only if needed. SARS, HIV, MERS, weaponized triplet strain created at Fort Detrick Class 4 lab in 2015. Transport the research strain to different Class 4 lab, the National Microbiology Lab in Winnipeg, Canada, and have it stolen and smuggled out by China. Xinjiang Li on purpose and taken to China's only Class 4 lab, which is Wuhan Institute of Virology in Wuhan, China. For added plausible deniability and to help cement the wanted backup public script as something to fall back on if needed. The primary script being its natural. Backup script being that China created it and released it by accident. Fund all the talking heads, Fauci, Birx, Tedros, and agencies, World Health Organization, NIAID, the CDC, and also the UN that would be involved in the pandemic response prior to the planned release of the research strain to control the wanted script throughout the operation. Create and fund the vaccination development and rollout plan so it's capable of being rolled out on a global scale. Gates, a decade of vaccines and the Global Vaccine Action Plan 2010 to 2020. Create and fund the vaccination, verification, and certification protocols, digital ID, to enforce / confirm the vaccination program after the mandatory rollout is enacted. Gates ID 2020. Simulate the lockstep hypothesis just prior to the planned research strain release using a real-world exercise as a final war game to determine expected response, timelines, and outcomes, Event 201 in October 2019. Now, for those of y'all who haven't went over this Event 201 right here, I actually have an earlier video here somewhere. Y'all should go back and look at it. Release the research strain at the Wuhan Institute of Virology itself, and then blame its release on a natural scapegoat as the wanted primary script. Wuhan Wet Market, November 2019. Exactly the same as the simulation. Downplay the human-to-human transmission for as long as possible to allow the research strain to spread on a global scale before any country can lock down, respond to avoid initial infection. Once a country has seen infection in place, lock down incoming / outgoing travel, keep the transmission within the country spreading for as long as possible. Once enough people in a country / region are infected, enact forced quarantines, isolation for that area, and expand the lockdown region slowly over time. Overhype the mortality rate by tying the research strain to deaths that have little to nothing to do with the actual virus to keep the fear and compliance at a maximum. If anyone dies for any reason and is found to have COVID, consider it a COVID death. And if anyone is thought to maybe have symptoms of COVID, assume they have COVID and consider it as a COVID death. So as y'all can see here, y'all, it's some juicy stuff, right? It's this is what you would call right here some tea, I guess, right? And if y'all have the time, I would recommend y'all look into this. And as always, y'all, I appreciate every single one of y'all who come over here and rock with me. Y'all keep your eyes open out there, homies. Stay safe.